In the previous video, we looked at the difference between coaching and therapy. In this video, we will explore a model that will help you get a deeper insight into the approach we use during a coaching and a therapy session. This approach provides a framework that is structured yet flexible, which ensures that you and the client walk together on a path that is in sync with the desired outcome. The best way of understanding this model is to understand why does a client come for a coaching or a therapy session or a participant join us for a training program in the first place. Most clients, when they visit for a session, are, let's say, in a situation A, and they would like to change or improve that situation to B. These situations may be described by the client in terms of a mental state, a behavioral skill, or an outcome manifest. So for the purpose of our model, let us call the situation A as the current situation and the situation B as the desired outcome. Once we understand this, it becomes obvious that the first step in coaching and therapy is to help the client define their current situation and their desired outcome. Once the client is able to define the two, it becomes clear that the client needs to take some steps or do some tasks to move from current situation to the desired outcome. So, we help the client identify and list all those tasks that need to be done or completed for them to move from the current situation to the desired outcome. Once we know the tasks, you will notice that these tasks can be broadly divided in two parts. Tasks that the client is already doing and the tasks that the client is not able to do. The tasks that the client is already doing well, we don't really need to fidget with. So, we are left with the tasks that the client is not able to do. Now, if the client knows the task, what will stop the client from doing it? Look back into your own life. Have you ever been in a situation where you knew what to do and yet you were not able to do it? What was the reason for not being able to do it? Broadly speaking, we can divide these reasons in three categories. First is lack of skills, second is lack of resources, and third is disempowering mental state, that is a dysfunctional thought or a dysfunctional emotion. The first two, that is the lack of skills and the lack of resources, will take us back to new tasks. In the long run, we can develop skills and we can also arrange resources. This may not happen immediately, but is still doable. Developing skills and arranging for resources requires the client to be involved in new tasks, which requires an additional level of motivation. So, even before we come to the tasks, we first make the outcome more motivating. Helping the client explore the benefits of reaching the desired outcome can be extremely useful for this purpose. One of the best ways to do so is to ask the client to describe how would the future be once they have achieved the outcome. To make the future inspiring and engaging, describing it in sensory details, that is, what will the client see, hear and feel after achieving the outcome may be important. The sensory details could also include the ways the client observes himself or herself act and behave in this future, the capabilities and skills that they have developed, and the emotions they are going to experience as a result of these changes. Once the level of motivation is high and we know the tasks that need to be done, we are back to two kinds of tasks. One that a client can do and one that the client can't do because of a certain negative mental state. We call these negative mental states as hindrances. Lack of motivation is an example of such hindrance, which we have consciously tried to address by helping the client become conscious of the benefits of achieving the outcome. Many a times, this conscious motivation is not enough, as the hindrance may be rooted into the unconscious. So, what we would ideally like to do is not just at the conscious but also at the unconscious level, is to disconnect the task from the hindrance and connect that to an appropriate replacement feeling. To understand this better, take the example of a task to get up in the morning and go for exercise. The hindrance is a feeling of lethargy and laziness when the alarm rings. the most appropriate replacement feeling could be feeling fresh, energetic, and a sense of excitement. Now imagine if we were able to disconnect getting up and exercising from this feeling of laziness and connect it to feeling energetic. So, when the alarm rings, the natural feeling that a client gets is that of energy and excitement instead of laziness. That would help, wouldn't it? What is important to remember is that at times this can be done simply by creating unconscious motivation towards achieving the outcome. This is one of the things that you will learn to do with hypnosis in the basic practitioner course. That said, in some cases, it may require more work than just increasing unconscious motivation. To understand what else may be required, we need to dig a bit deeper and explore the sources of these hindrances. Apart from lack of motivation, other sources of hindrances can be a habit or a strong association or a belief that our mind has formed. At times, these habits and associations may be a result of strong positive intention or a secondary gain. In some cases, the hindrance may be driven by some irrational thoughts or stories that are playing in our mind on an automatic basis. And finally, the belief itself could be a result of a trauma or a series of past experiences that have accumulated over the years. As a part of the complete course, you would learn to work with each of these sources effectively. As I said earlier, in the basic practitioner course, you will learn to work with the unconscious motivations and also habits and associations to an extent. In the practitioner course, you will learn to work with habits and associations more extensively. Advanced practitioner course in coaching will focus on working with beliefs and secondary gains. Finally, the last two levels, that is the psychotherapy program, will focus on helping you develop skills and to work with intense negative emotions, traumas and deep-rooted past experiences. Irrespective of what level of the course you have completed, you will learn to help the client summarize and evaluate the work you are doing with them effectively. There is also a lot of emphasis on assignments and homework that the client needs to do between sessions. These assignments ensure that the client is continuing to work towards the desired outcome as well and is not becoming dependent on the sessions for the same. In short, our entire approach can be summarized using the acronym SOFTSEA, also known as SOFTSEA, where S stands for current situation, O stands for desired outcome, F for future, which includes actions, capabilities and emotions, which are represented by A, C and E respectively. T stands for tasks and includes subpoints like hindrances and replacement emotions, which are represented by H and E respectively. Finally, we have the C. Each letter stands for summary, evaluation and assignment. SOFTSEA as a model was created by us to help our participants understand the key areas that they need to address while working with the clients. Most of the participants have come back to tell us that the model is extremely simple yet very powerful in terms of its effectiveness. If you have studied psychology, you may already have realized how this model is eclectic as it includes principles from all three primary approaches to psychology, that is cognitive, behavioral and psychoanalysis. As a part of the complete Cognitive Hypnotic Coaching and Psychotherapy course, you are learning to work with automatic thoughts and beliefs, conditioned behaviors, past experiences and actually a lot more.